Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that may link with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today by the app called Flick. Now, if you haven't already downloaded it, please download the app. Really helps you with this show because that's where we're posting up all of our polls at the moment. So download the app. It is absolutely brilliant. Lots of discussions going on there yesterday about all the transfers. We had a poll on Flick yesterday, and I asked a question about Emi Martinez, who of course signed for Aston Villa in a £20 million deal. And I asked the question, were Arsenal right to cash in on Emi Martinez? Obviously, he's been at the club for 10 years. Was brilliant for us in the FA Cup and decided to move on. And I asked that question, were we right to cash in on Emi Martinez? Now, 75% of you said yes, 25% said no. So it seems like most of you, well, definitely most of you are in agreement with the decision to sell him, although we all know that he's a brilliant player and we all wish him all the best. By the way, that contract he's got is pretty decent, said to be a 4-year contract worth £75,000 a week. When you consider that he was on, 20,000 a week at Arsenal, that's a massive pay rise. And, that's, we have to think about it for football players as well. It's their future. That secures his future, going forward for the next 4 years. Him and his family are guaranteed that type of money. And wow, talk about seizing your opportunity. Came in as a backup goalkeeper to Leno when Leno got injured against Brighton and seized his opportunity. Brilliant. And Villa saw him, loads of clubs saw him and just said, yeah, we need him. Shame we couldn't keep him at Arsenal, but good luck to him. But 75% of you agreeing with me, really, that we had to cash in on him. It made sense all round, made sense for him, made sense for us. But it's what we're going to do with that money, which that is the important thing. By the way, on Flick, I'm going to be on there tonight, 10 p.m. UK time, right? 10 p.m. UK time. I'm going to be on there doing a Q&A all about transfers. So if you want to get involved in that, make sure, look in the description. You can download the app. I'm going to be doing a Transfer Daily special in Flick tonight at 10 p.m. So make sure you download the app if you want to get involved in that. You can ask me anything on transfers. Now, this was really interesting. This news that broke out yesterday regarding the owners of the football club, namely Stan Kroenke and his company KSE. Now, Swiss Ramble, who's the really respected finance guy, does a lot of stuff on Twitter, really excellent Twitter account. He always does these sort of excellent breakdowns on the finances of Arsenal. And he done a big report on not just Arsenal, actually. He investigated all 20 of the current Premier League clubs. And he found that Arsenal have not put, Stan Kroenke and KSE have not put a penny, not 1 penny or cents, if you want to call it cents for you in America, into Arsenal in the last 5 years. Not a penny. Would you believe that? Unbelievable. He broke down the payments. He said that KSE had made, or Arsenal have made £101 million in payments. £40 million of that was debt. 61 million of that was interest. Arsenal also paid KSE, which of course is Stan Kroenke's company, £6 million in advisory services. Advisory services? What are they advising, right? And money out of his own pocket, zero, nothing. Meanwhile, you look at other clubs. Abramovich, for instance, has given Chelsea £440 million of his own money. Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs, £521 million investment. All right, I know some of that would have went to the stadium, but out of the pockets of the owners. Everton. Remember, Everton, those guys at Everton, the owners, they were at Arsenal begging to, be stakeholders where they can actually put money in, and we've been turned down year after year by Stan Kroenke. They've put 256 million into it. Aston Villa, who've just bought, remember, Martinez have put in 224 million. Even Brighton have put in 150 million. And meanwhile, Stan Kroenke has put in 0. No money. Now, is that not the reason why we are where we are at the moment? Which is basically, we've not been challenging for the league. We've not been challenging for the Champions League. I mean, a friend of mine yesterday was saying, Robbie, see, you know, Wenger used to cop a lot of the stick, but there's no money being put in. And we know that this club runs on a sort of a model where, you know, it's the money that comes in that pays for everything. And that's fair enough. Fair enough. But there does come times when a club is struggling, when you've got to put money into your own, you know, put your hand into your pocket and take some money out. Then you look at the 55 redundancies that have been done recently. I mean, it is being run strictly as a business. We know that Stan Kroenke, of course, has got the LA Rams where he's been building a brand new stadium. Obviously, that's probably, you know, taken most of his money. That's where his focus has been. But it's a staggering indictment when you look that he's not put one penny in. And as I said, it's a bit different for clubs like Liverpool. And by the way, they have put money in Liverpool. But it's a bit different for, you know, when you're a Liverpool and you're winning the league and you've got a great team and you don't really need to be putting money in your pocket. And also you're getting lots of money in for players. Arsenal have been struggling. And I find that staggering that he's put nothing in. But would love to hear your comments on it. And if you get in flick tonight, I'll tell you, we'll definitely be discussing that. Now, obviously, with no money coming in from the owners, we got to sell players in order to buy. We know the targets we want. Mikel Arteta obviously got to move players out to bring players in. Lucas Torreira looks to be that player that's going out. Said to be on the verge of a move to Italy. Could either be Fiorentina or Torino. Now, so many different conflicting reports on that. There's reports that Arsenal would be willing to accept 80 million pounds for him, which would that be a big loss. Well, we paid 26.5 million. That'd be a loss of about 10 million pounds. We only paid that in 2018. There's other reports that would be willing to take 22 million for him. But it definitely looks like he's on his way out. Could even be a loan deal where the club would have to pay a loan fee with an option to buy at the end of it. It's kind of sad, man, because I like Lucas Torreira. I really did. I thought it was a really good sign. It just hasn't worked out. It goes that way sometimes. Players, I don't know, maybe the club just doesn't fit, you know, the country, the language, you know, there's a lot of things that us as fans sometimes, maybe we find it difficult to take those things into account. But definitely it hasn't worked out for him. And he does look like he's going to be on his way out. Hopefully, if he does go, and that's not that I want him to go. I would have loved him to stay. But if he does go, hopefully that money will be used to bring this guy in. Thomas Partey, we know all about it. £45 million release clause. Again, you get a bit upset when you hear that your owner's not putting a cent in because you think to yourself, well, there you go. Bung a little money in and let's go and get him. We know that he'd improve the team. But, you know, we're haggling over trying to get that release clause removed, which, you know, Atletico Madrid are not going to do. Listen, sometimes you don't pay the money, you're not going to get the quality in that you need. Another player that maybe that Torreira money could be used towards will be Houssem Aouar. I note that he's still playing for Lyon. They got a game against Montpellier. He's in the squad for that game. So he's still playing at the moment for Lyon. They're still seeing him as a very important player. But again, would be a very positive signing if we could get that one done. It's going to be down to the fact that if we can get the money in for players, 20 million for Martinez, if we can get, 20 million for Torreira, there you go. There's your money towards a Partey or a Aouar. But you see the struggles now that the manager has in getting in players. Arsenal linked today with another Brazilian, by the way. His name's Marcos Paulo. He's 19. He plays for Fluminense in Brazil. Obviously, Edu, as he does, he knows all the top Brazilian players and he's looked at this kid and he said, yeah, he's a great talent. As all of these South American players seem to have, he's got a £40 million release clause. Literally every player. It's like, as soon as you start playing in Brazil or those countries, it's right, yeah, he's half decent. Let's 10 million release clause, 5 million, 20 million. You know what I mean? But he's got a 40 million release clause. There'd be no chance of them getting that right now in the current climate. There'd be negotiations to be done. Who knows? You could have even 3-4 agents. That's the other thing in Brazil. It's a bit crazy out there when it comes to transfers. But being looked at by a lot of clubs, actually, not just Arsenal. Arsenal eyeing him, also West Ham, Leeds, Southampton as well. So a host of clubs all interested in him. Let's see how that one works out. He's a forward player. Again, we've got quite a lot of forward players. I mean, you saw players like Saka on the bench at the weekend, didn't even get on. Pepe on the bench. Reece Nelson not even in the squad. So another forward player? Not unless he's of real high quality. But he's only young. I don't know. I can't see that one, but we've been linked with him today. And there's strong links to this guy. I spoke about him yesterday. Alex Runarsson of Dijon over there in France. Lots of reports that he's already even had his medical and will join Arsenal in a 5-year deal. He's been capped 5 times for Iceland. I spoke about him yesterday. Of course, he will be the replacement for Emi Martinez, who, as we know, has moved to Aston Villa. Yeah, he will be the replacement for him. So looks like that is imminent and that he will be coming into Arsenal. Now, interested on Sead Kolasinac. Kolasinac has been linked with lots of moves away. He's been linked with a move back to Schalke. He's been linked with quite a few clubs. However, it would appear that he does not want to move. He's said to want to stay at Arsenal and fight for his place. I mean, even West Ham, they've come in recently and shown an interest in Kolasinac, but he doesn't want to leave. The 27-year-old wants to stay at Arsenal and fight for his place. Obviously, they all want to play under Mikel Arteta right now. But will Arsenal cash in on Kolasinac? Again, that's going to be one we're going to have to wait and see. We don't actually have another left-back apart from Tierney. I know that Saka can fill in that position, but I think you can see that the manager wants to play him further forwards. Maitland-Niles could fill in, but natural left-backs, Kolasinac is one. So I wonder where do you guys stand on that Kolasinac thing? Let's do another poll. Time for another poll. Let's put this one on Flick today. Another poll. Sell or keep Kolasinac? Simple as that. Should we sell or keep Kolasinac? He wants to stay. He wants to fight for his place. When he first come in, he was brilliant. He's had an up and down season recently. Could Arteta get the best out of him as well? He seems to be doing it with a lot of other players. Should we sell or keep Kolasinac? Another player, Arsenal player, that's been linked with a move away is Rob Holding. Now, we knew a few weeks ago that he was on the verge of a loan move to Newcastle. Then there was a U-turn done on that by Arsenal. They said, no, we want to keep him. He started the game against Fulham, played well in that game. Remember, he's Tekers in that game, Rob Holdinho. But West Ham now are interested in taking him on loan, willing to pay a £5 million loan deal, a lot of the reports are saying. West Ham, of course, have been trying to sign James Tarkowski from Burnley, but have been knocked back quite a few times. Burnley said to be unwilling to sell him. And they're in the hunt for a centre-back, and they would love to take Rob Holding for a season. That might be attractive to Arsenal if that loan fee is that high. That's a big loan fee. Arsenal, of course, have currently got 8 centre-backs at Arsenal. 8 centre-backs they have at the club right now. Will they take another one? I mean, you know, they can't, can they? They need to offload somebody. I hope it's not Rob Holding. I think, you know what? I would have said a few weeks ago, maybe offload Rob Holding, but definitely now I feel that he's one that we should definitely be keeping. But there's 8 centre-backs. Remember, Pablo Mari, right, who we signed. So he's going to have to figure He hasn't even played yet because he's been injured. Saliba hasn't played yet. These are just the new ones. We've got Gabriel now. We know that David Luiz is staying, right? So who else gets that other spot? I guess we'll go with 5 centre-backs. You've got Chambers there, still there. You've got Mustafi. You know, this is a lot of centre-backs. Holding, you know, and of course, we got a defender out on it slipped me now. Defender out on loan as well. So 8 centre-backs is too many. So somebody's going to have to go. But I really hope that we do keep hold of Rob Holding, although that 5 million loan fee for a team that doesn't get any investment from their owners might be very tempting. Now, yesterday on Instagram, I put this post out. And I put in the caption, I said, that's me waiting on Aubameyang to be announced. Now, if you could see there, Aubameyang actually commented on it, and he does a laughing emojis, and he put enjoy your night with another emoji where he's winking. Is that a signal that he could sign today? Remember yesterday, a lot of people were saying it's going to happen on Monday. He wears number 14. It's going to, yesterday's the 14th of September. It's going to happen at 2 o'clock, 1400 hours. They're going to announce it. Nah, didn't happen. Will it be announced today? Gosh, man, this is the longest announcement in the history of football. Well, I don't know, man. If you're Arsenal, we're always used to waiting ages. But hopefully, I'm saying this every day now. It's starting to become like a Benzema moment, although I know he's signed. Hopefully, we'll get the announcement today that Aubameyang has signed. Don't forget, get onto the Flick app. If you haven't already downloaded it, download it right now. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Absolutely free. And that's where we're putting up all of our polls at the moment. That's where we're putting up all of our stuff with regards to the show. As I said, poll today, Kolasinac. Should we keep or sell Kolasinac? And don't forget, 10 o'clock tonight, UK time. So work it out wherever you are around the world if you want to get involved. 10 o'clock tonight, UK time. I am going to be on the app live, taking your questions on transfers. So any questions you've got regarding transfers, regarding that news that broke about Stan Kroenke, any of the transfers today, Aouar, Partey, any of those, fire those at me, and I'll do my best to answer as many of them as I possibly can. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back tomorrow. Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.